Hey guys, recently got a email request from somebody who's watching my channel. Thank you for watching my channel, everybody, by the way. Um, Hello, I'm new to Inkstitch, just got a brother SC1900 and I'm learning the basics. The SC1900 is actually kind of what got my attention a little bit just because that's what we had two of at one time. We had three brother flatbed machines, two of which were the SC1900. Great machine. Very good single needle machine. I'm fairly good at figuring out computer design programs quickly. I use a lot of Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. You actually have me beat. I have never used Illustrator or Photoshop. I know nothing about them. I've been watching a lot of your videos on Inkstitch. Thank you again. And am loving them. Thank you again. I have a fan. I am trying to make bold Arial, black, normal, and rainbow color with a shadow behind each letter in a different rainbow color. Lots of color changes I have figured out via your videos. I have to do this in a fill form, but want to try it in a satin form. I do have video on fill stitch with shadow, so yeah, it's there. Wondering if you could do a YouTube video. Emailed her back. Said, can you send me the SVG file of what you're working on so I have a little better idea of what you're talking about? And this is what she sent me. This is not beginner, especially satin stitch. But, and I can't remember for sure, but I think I even replied with, that's not very beginner. But you know what? I'm game. Sure. I'll play. Now, I'm not sure. I want to do satin stitch. I'm not with shadow. I'm not sure why this bottom part is here. I really don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove that because I don't think that's part of. So our size is a little over 4 inches wide. Depending on your hoop, that might be too big for a pocket size, like just by a little bit. You might have to shrink that down, but this is a good size for me to play around with, basically. So being that she actually mentioned Illustrator, makes me wonder if she made this in Illustrator. And I can tell you how to find out. In case you didn't know, I think I remember mentioning it in one of my videos, but a long time ago. You can right-click and open with a text program. Like if you're on Windows, Notepad, WordPad. I'm on Linux, so I'll be using Kate. I'm sorry, but I don't know what text, simple text. It can be a simple text. You can do it in something like Office program. It's a little overkill, so I'm just going to use Kate text program. Right here at the top, it will tell you what it's made in. As far as I know, anything that creates an SVG will list it here. And I accidentally put a letter in there, but this is what an SVG actually is. It's a program. It's a plot, graphical plot program, sort of. Yeah. Anyway, that's pretty neat. So she did actually make this in Inkscape. That's cool. It's actually a little harder when somebody sends you something because you don't know what it is. You don't know widths. You don't know, is it broke apart? Is it not? Has it got little tiny fill stitches? There's a lot. So the first thing that I almost always do when somebody sends me something, especially like a business, they want their logo to be converted and digitized and stitched and all that. I measure. So what I want to measure is, what are my widths for potential satin stitch column? This is 5 mil wide. That's plenty. It's getting up there in the high range, but you're still really good. Not a problem at all. So this will actually convert to a satin really good. And I almost always do a shadow in fill instead of in satin, just because a fill stitch doesn't have as much detail. It's not as sharp, not as clean. And that's one of the reasons we always prefer satin stitch, because of that fact. So a fill stitch as a shadow actually makes sense. So I'm going to do this shadow as a fill stitch. So we need to figure out plenty wide for a satin stitch. Now, one thing you could do is you can pick a color. I have done this before, picked a system font that was either really something, really similar, really close to an Inkstitch font, a lettering font. And then I did one layer, I did another layer, and then pulled it down so just to make a shadow, and then did a difference to cut it away so the only thing left was a shadow. And then it did extensions, Inkstitch lettering, and did a lettering that was already satin, put it over the top of that shadow. That's the easy way. I'm not going to do the easy way. I do apologize ahead of time if I go a little fast because there's going to be a lot to cover in this. This is not beginner. Actually, take that back. We're going to redefine this one as the advanced beginner class. There you go. Okay. Let's see. We'll see. Everything is already broke apart. Oh, I need to get my, is that one? It's that one. There we go. Now I've got my button. Okay. I need to see. Well, all those paths that are there, I'm pretty sure this is already broke apart. That's a single. Is that a single? That's a single. Yes. Okay. I'm going to select the letters on top. And the way I'm going to do that is to select a single item is you press Control. And I'm still holding Control, but it won't let me multi-select. So I'm going to press Control, and the way you multi-select is you push Shift. So now when I push Shift, it's going to select the whole letter, the whole word. That doesn't work either. So we are going to actually press Control and Shift at the same time. Both these are left Shift, left Control. That allows me to single select and multi-select at the same time. And I want all of these overlay letters. Those overlay letters I'm going to hide. That leaves the underlying shadow, something we can work with. And these are, yes, these are already broke apart, so that's good. So the plan I have for this, I need these to stitch in a certain order. I need this one to this one, this one to this one to this one to this one, just all the way down. There, that one, that one, that one. I need them to stitch in a certain order for my plan to work. And we're going to look at see what order they're in. So that is path 16 right here. That is path 39 right down here. Now, Inkstitch has something really cool for this. And this is one of those cases to where it does come in handy. I'm going to do the same thing with holding Control and Shift so that I can get a certain order. Control, Shift, click. Still holding Control Shift the whole time I'm clicking. Click, click, click. Still holding Control Shift. I'm going to go all the way through these in the order that I want them to stitch. Keep in mind, your order will actually be backwards because it's thinking, when you click that first one, Inkstitch thinks you want it to stitch first, which means it goes to the bottom of the layers and objects list. It stitches from bottom up. Keep that in mind. And then I want, let's see. Doesn't matter a whole lot. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. Now we're going to go to Extensions, Inkstitch. And I got to remember where it is. Commands, no. Edit, edit. Haven't used it in a while. Restack objects in order of selection. There it is. Boom. Now they're reordered in the way that I selected. Meaning, this bottom 116 is the one that I wanted first. And then that one. So now it doesn't matter what the number is because it put them in the order bottom up that I wanted them to be in. Now they're in order. All right. So now that we have the background pieces in the order that we want them to be in, I'm going to add trim. I'm going to do this through params. Make sure all of your background pieces are selected. Inkstitch params. And in Inkstitch 3, we have the ability to set trim in the params. And if we select that and go to preview quite quickly, we should see that trim has been applied. No more jump stitch. In your Brother SE 1900, it's been my experience that it doesn't recognize Inkstitch's trim command. This was before Inkstitch 3. Try it, see if it works. I no longer have the Brother SE 1900 to try it out on, so you'll just have to try it and see. I'm going to call the background pieces done, and we're going to move on to the foreground. So I'm going to select all of these and then re-show them. We're going to turn all of these letters into satin stitches. You've seen me do satin stitches before. I'm going to do this fairly quickly and see how quickly I can get through this. All right, so I'm going to select that. We're going to start up here at the top. Make our way down to the bottom with a line, enter. Kind of do the same thing. Want it to be, I don't want to come straight down because we need a little bit of overlap to compensate for the pull effect. So we're going to go at a little bit of an angle right about to there. I need some rungs. I'm going to hit the pencil. I didn't hit the pencil. I'm going to hit the pencil. I'm going to select that first spot. Then I'm going to push Control. When I come over, that line's going to be nice and perfectly horizontal. Bring it over. Lovely, lovely. And I got to figure out which one's the first one. It's that one. So we're going to go from there to there. Control K to combine. Extensions, Inkstitch, params. Satin column, custom satin column. I want this to end on the right hand side. It does not, so I'm going to select right here, swap rails, select that button right there, and now instead of ending on the left, it's going to end on the right. Beautiful. Hit apply and quit. Good to go. Not sure why. We're going to pop that out of the group. So now it's up here. Okay. That's where I want it. I don't want it inside all that mess. Now, we're going to do basically the same thing. Oops. We're going to start right about here with a little overlap. Come up, go up. A little bit over to the right, down, down. Put me some rungs in there. Select all of those. Control K, extensions, Inkstitch, params. No, I still have not created a shortcut. Such a slacker. Satin column, custom satin column. I guess okay. We're going to say I intentionally did that in the wrong direction so I can show you reverse rails. Reverse both rails. Reverse second rail. Reverse first rail. There we go. I don't know what I did. Play around with those drop downs, you'll get it eventually. I want it just to end on the right hand side. There we go. Hit apply and quit. I'm going to run that again just to make sure all those little flip buttons that I pushed and drop downs I selected ended up being what I wanted. I don't know what I did. What I get for trying to do too many things at once. And we're going to move on. Same thing down to here. Now I'm quite certain I'm going in the right direction this time. And grab the first one of that. Control K. Extensions, Inkstitch, params. Satin column, custom satin column. I want it to end on the right hand side. Ends on the left. Swap rails. Apply and quit. And up. Where that one ends doesn't matter. Hit apply and quit. I'm going to grab all of these W parts and I'm going to select them, right click and group. So now the W is its own group. Now we're going to grab the tool down here. With that created, I'm just going to select it and create another one. Push Control D while I drag this over. Grab those two, combine, extensions, Inkstitch, params, satin column, custom satin column. Good. Hit apply and quit. Even though this is its own path, I'm still going to group just so that it achieves continuity. Looks like it's what we're meaning to do. Now we have two ends. All we have to do is do the first end, duplicate that end, and then move that duplicate over, and we have two ends. Now that it's grouped, I'm going to duplicate that group because all we need to do is now drag that duplicate over and we have our second end right there. Sweet. Now, we also already have an eye, which should be that one. We're going to duplicate that eye. We're going to drag that over. Pressing the control button so that it goes nice and straight. The only thing we have left is the E. I really hate E's. They're like my least favorite letter in complexity. But it is what it is. We're going to run in here. We're going to drag this down to here. We're going to duplicate that. We're going to drag it down. Boom. Grab those two. Control K. Extensions Inkstitch params. Satin column. Custom satin column. I want it to end on the bottom. It ends on the top. We're going to swap rails. Hit apply and quit. Now we're going to make a running stitch, come down to here, to here, to here. We're going to go into extensions, Inkstitch params. We are going to confirm that that is a running stitch. It is. Hit apply and quit. Now we're going to make another satin column. Make sure you go inside, well inside of the potential horizontal column that we're going to make. Vertical column. I'll get it right in a minute. Grab those two, Control K, extensions, Inkstitch params, and making sure that we're inside of the potential vertical column will ensure that we have any pull comp that we need to do and taken care of. I would like this to start on the top and end on the bottom, and which is exactly what we need to just reverse swap rails. Now it starts on the top, should end in the bottom, and it does. The most important part of that is that it ends at the bottom. So if you can't get it to end at the bottom, start at the top, go ahead and do start at the bottom, end at the bottom, and then just move your running stitch down here to match that. Be just fine. We're going to make another running stitch. Boom, 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 right there. Just going to confirm that it is a satin stitch or a running stitch. Should be running stitch. Yes, it is. And we're going to go from there to there. Duplicate. Hold the control button to keep it lined up. Grab that. Control K. Extensions, Inkstitch params. Satin column, custom satin column. We want it to start on top and end on the bottom. It's doing the exact opposite. Now it starts on top and will end at the bottom. Good, good. That's what we want. Apply and quit. And now, for the cup de grace, we are going to run a satin column up to here. Duplicate, drag that over to there. Grab that, Control K, combine, Inkstitch, params. We want it to start on the right hand side, which it did. We don't care where it ends. Grab all of these, hit Control or hit right click and group. Now I need my colors to be correct. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab each of these grouped sections. I'm going to grab the W first, and then we're going to just use this dropper tool. Make sure you press Shift because you need it to be a stroke color, not a fill color. So with pressing the Shift button, you get stroke color, and we'll change that to the preset color. Same thing with that one. We're already on the color tool. Hit the Shift button. It is not. Hit the Shift button. Not changing. We'll go in here, stroke color. Fill. We don't want to fill. We want stroke. And we want, grab the dropper from there. Now it's working. I don't know why I did that. All right. Next one. Dropper. Fill color. Did not work again. So what I'm going to do with this one to try to fix that is go with all three of these and then see if that works. It does not. Fine. Do it the same way. Fill, no fill. Stroke color is, grab this and suck it up. Same thing here. Go to here. Fill, no fill. Stroke color. Grab the tool. Grab the color. Same thing here. Grab the color. Nope. Fill, no fill. Stroke color. Grab the color. Fill. That's the wrong one. That one. Go to that one. Fill. Fill, no fill. Stroke. Color. Grab. Everybody should be set now. I don't know why it made me do it the harder way, but it did. Alrighty. Outstanding. We should be done. We should be done. I'm going to go back to the first layer and I'm going to make sure I select everybody. That is the overpath. I don't want any of the underpath set, which is that one. Okay. So from there to there, I'm going to hide those. So all we should get now is what we want stitched. Extensions, Inkstitch preview. Simulator, realistic preview. We'll fast forward. There's our backgrounds. And there's our foreground satin stitch. Hit realistic, see what we look like. Nice, not bad at all. So one final thing that I would like to do before calling this done, I'm going to select all of the satin stitch pieces. Go to extensions, Inkstitch params. We're going to give that just a little bit of pull compensation. Main reason being is we want to make sure that the satin stitch parts goes over the top of the fill stitch shadow, so there's no gap in between. And one of the easiest ways to do that is to just make sure you have some pull comp set. 0.3 I think will probably be enough. Try that. Beginner, not beginner. This is the advanced beginner class. I do plan on doing a tutorial. I guess it'll be a tutorial. One of my next videos. I'm not going to say my next video because I jump around a lot. One of my next videos. Yeah, forget that. So that is all for this one. Everybody that watches, thank you very much for watching. And until next time.